Welcome to Fargo, the city of frost and fire. Learn all about this north of normal metro, one person at a time. This is the Fargo 5. Welcome. We are doing Fargo Famous. We've got Donna Heck here. She's the concierge strategist at the FMWF Chamber Foundation. Hello, Donna.
Hello there.
Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So now, Donna, you and I had coffee once before, and I recall about you. You used to work for Hallmark.
I did.
You were
yes.
you were one of the, you were very high up at Hallmark, right? This was before you moved to Fargo, though, or this is while you were in Fargo?
I've always lived in Fargo.
Okay.
I didn't
Never.
grow up here.
Okay.
But then I moved to Fargo and had a variety of positions before I accepted a position with Hallmark Cards.
Okay.
But I was here in Fargo.
Okay, but then you had to travel all around, though, right? Because your region got really big. That's what I remember.
Yes, I started in just North Dakota. That was part of my territory. And as consumer shopping habits changed and people started communicating differently,
yes,
my territory grew and grew,
yes,
so that by 2020 I had about 5 states.
Okay, so up until very recent,
parts of 5 states.
Well,
yes,
I say very recently, but wow, 2020 was 4 years ago. Can you believe?
No, I cannot believe that.
That's crazy. So up until relatively recently, so right before, so were you working for Hallmark during the pandemic or right up before it?
It was right up before that. So it was January of 2020 when my territory was absorbed.
Okay. Yeah. And then you were saying, okay, bye Hallmark. And then you came over to the chamber.
They said goodbye to me, and I took a gap year.
Okay, good. That's nice. That's
and then I got more involved in the community because I was around more, which was very beneficial. That I could be attending events and be more involved with chamber activities. Before I accepted the position at the chamber.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you took a gap year during the pandemic.
Yes.
Good year to take a gap year. So all that happened. You came to, now you said, I want to kind of go way back actually. You said you moved to Fargo when you were young. When did you get here?
I came to Fargo for college, for NDSU. I grew up in Cullum, North Dakota. Which, do you know what Cullum is famous for?
No, I don't know. You tell me.
Angie Dickinson.
Angie Dickinson. I don't know who that is. You're going to have to tell me. She's
Sergeant Pepper?
She's a famous, nope, sorry. Is it?
Actress.
Nope. Okay, Sergeant Pepper, that's the name of a Beatles song.
Well, she was Sergeant Pepper on Policewoman.
Policewoman. Okay, I don't know any of it. I mean, when you say Sergeant Pepper, that's a Beatles song, though, too, isn't it? So that's all I think of is the Beatles. You a big Beatles fan? You listen to the Beatles?
Not so much.
Not so much. Okay. So you came here for college after living in a small, if it's not Fargo, it's rural North Dakota, right?
It is rural, very rural. It's down to about 350 people.
Okay. So what was it like? What year was it when you moved to Fargo then?
Oh, no, that's not a question you asked.
Yeah, because I could work the math out backwards.
Correct, yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, because I want to get a context for what it was like when you did move here.
In the 80s.
In the 80s. Okay, so tell me, what I want you to tell me about is Fargo in the 80s and what it's like going from rural North Dakota to the big city, Fargo, North Dakota in the 80s. Because in the 80s, Fargo wasn't like it is today.
Absolutely, and that's correct. And Fargo was just a stepping stone for me.
Yeah.
I had no intention of staying here in Fargo.
Nobody does.
It was on to bigger and better things until you're here for a while, and Fargo is bigger and better.
Yeah.
It is. Yes. It gives you all the opportunities, and over the years, have seen the opportunities that have come into the area, and we've seen it grow. With all the activities, all the amenities, all the businesses that have come here have made this place a great place to be.
Absolutely. Fargo is a metro.
It is.
I mean, and this is what, I don't know if you've ever heard it explained this way, but I say this all the time. We used to be a lake. And so our dirt is very, very soft. And so if you want to go above 3 stories, you have to put these giant pillars into the ground. It's very, very expensive, cost prohibitive. So the whole town is just laid out very, very, very wide. And that's what makes Fargo have that small town feel. But we've got everything.
Yeah, the bottom of Lake Agassiz.
Yeah. And we've got everything. I mean, it's a major metro here.
It really is. And not only that, but when we take a look at when you talk about the area and the how it's grown, we also have the most fertile soil in the world.
Yes. In the world.
In the world.
Yeah, because of the lake bed, because of Lake Agassiz.
One of the most fertile soils
and that
in the
fertile
world.
soil is really hard to build on.
It is.
So if you build something too tall, it'll just leaning tower of Pisa on you. It'll just fall right over.
Right.
And so because of that, we keep that very rural feel.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yeah, it used to kill my dad to see all this buildup going on this beautiful black soil.
Yeah,
as he tried to scratch a living out of pothole country.
I suppose, because it's much rockier when you go out west.
And very hilly, very hilly. It's duck capital of the world over there in Gackle, North Dakota. So pothole country, we have duck hunting and pheasant hunting and deer hunting.
Are you much of a hunter yourself?
I am not.
Okay.
My family grew up hunting, but I did not.
Okay. So tell me, what was the biggest adjustment for you when you did come to the big city? Like, was there anything that like really shocked you? You were like, this isn't big enough for me. I want bigger, but it had to be something different for you coming from so rural.
I think just the social aspect, just the socializing that I was able to do in college. Again, I didn't have intention to stay here. And my 2 summers, my freshman and sophomore summer, I went bigger. I went out east to the East Coast and was a governess for a family out at the East Coast.
Oh, wow.
Drove the East Coast north to south on a 2-week family vacation.
And then you came back.
Then I came back.
You came back. All roads lead back to Fargo.
They do.
You did the Hallmark thing, and then you joined the chamber after your gap year. Now you're the concierge strategist, and we are going to talk about all the fun and exciting things to do coming up next in our next segment, which is Fargo Fun. But first, we're going to have a music break. You had asked me to prepare some ABBA. So I grabbed the only ABBA song that I know, which is Dancing Queen. Do you have much of a history with that? Was that Dancing Queen? Is that one of your, or what's your favorite ABBA song?
ABBA was big when it was one of those influential groups when I was growing up. So it just kind of stuck with me.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to some Dancing Queen and come back with Fargo Fun. So don't go nowhere.